Hello, welcome back to my channel. Welcome to my channel if you're new. It is a rainy Wednesday. I just got off work a little bit early. I had a half day at work today, so not a little bit early. I knew I was getting off early. So it is currently 1 o'clock, like 12:51, and today we're going to do a sewing vlog. Not sure if I'm going to include this as part of like a day off diaries sort of like spin-off or like start a new series of like sewing vlogs, but I want to start incorporating more sewing content here on YouTube because I actually kind of like doing sewing content here more so than I do short form. So we're going to see how this works out, but today we're doing a sewing vlog, day off diaries sort of situationship. Now, what does a sewing vlog entail essentially? I'm just going to be sewing. Wow. Riveting. I'm going to show you guys some things that I've been working on that I want to work on. Some quick fixes, some thrift flips, making things from scratch. I've got a whole bunch of personal projects that I've been trying and dying to work on. And I thought, why not pick up the camera and film and chat and make this a fun experience for YouTube. So let's get into it. Last night I did some prepping for today. I like cut out some things that I wanted to sew today, cut things out of patterns. I did a quick thrift flip slash alter. I had this green shirt that was a little too big that I went ahead and just took it on the sides and took a little bit of footage of that. But today I have here on my table back here the rest of the stuff that I want to work on today. So I'm going to kind of run you through everything that I want to sew. So here is the pile of stuff here on the table. So I've got some fun patterns here, some red gingham, some stripes, some bleach, some brown stuff, and then a whole pile of extraness. So a quick little rundown of the things I want to sew today. So if you follow me on TikTok and or Instagram, you know I have been obsessed with my flower scrunchies that I made. So I plan on making some more today. I have this dark denim that I'm going to add this white trim in. Then I'm going to make a little white and black gingham one out of this material. Another thing that you'll notice I'm obsessed with is adding ruffles to any of my pants that I just want to make special. So I have these gingham vintage pants that I went ahead and cropped and have prepared to add a ruffle to. This is some of the stuff I did last night. So I'm going to add ruffles to these gingham pants and then these blue and white striped pajama style pants. Then this stuff here, I'm just making things that I'm obsessed with, apparently, because we also know, if you follow me on TikTok and Instagram, I've been obsessed with sailor hats. So I have this brown one cut out and then this bleach one cut out. This, if you follow me on TikTok, I kind of like made a video asking some suggestions on what I should do with some leftover fabric that I had from a dress that I cut short, and I decided I'm going to make a little sailor hat out of it because that's the kind of mood I'm in. And then I think the last thing I'm going to be able to work on in this quick little session is thrift flipping this dress from my first spring thrift haul. I finally decided what I want to do with it. I'm going to transform it into this Sandy Liang dress that I've been obsessed with. It's a super quick fix. Essentially going to take it in, make it a little bit shorter, and then add what's called a welt pocket, and then of course a little bow at the bottom. So that is pretty much the roundup of everything I want to sew today. I think... what am I going to start with? I think I'm going to start with the pants. Yeah. So I'm going to start by ruffling up some ruffles and attaching it to the bottom of the pants that I cropped. So as far as making these ruffle pants, it's a really simple process. I actually did a little tutorial on my TikTok. I'll insert some of the footage here. Go watch that on my TikTok. I left the link for it down below. But essentially, you just crop your pants wherever you want to crop them. Obviously, you want enough material to make a ruffle. Then you cut what you cropped down one of the seams. Then you fold that piece in half. Sorry if you can hear the yard work outside. Then you cut that piece in half, sew it back into a tube, hem one side, gather the other, and then sew it back onto the pants. It's really that simple. It makes a lot more sense in my video that I posted on my TikTok, so again, if you're a little confused by that super sweet and short spiel I just gave, go watch my TikTok video on how to do it. So yeah. Also, I'm going to try this technique that my boss taught me, that you can do ruffles on your serger that are a lot quicker than having to do ruffles by hand, which is by sewing two parallel gather stitches at the longest stitch length on your machine and then pulling the gather stitches. So we're gonna test doing all of this on the serger. Fingers crossed this works out how it's supposed to, because this will save me a lot of time. For this next section, while they're outside working, we're gonna do a music montage, because how rude of them to do yard work while I'm filming. Getting ready to try to gather this with the serger. I'm going to do it on the blue striped pair just because I would be a little bit more okay if I messed them up. So we're going to try this. Safe to say that that indeed worked. Safe to say that that worked. For all of my sewers here on YouTube, I'll leave like the overall settings to put your serger on to get ruffles, but that worked swimmingly. Swimmingly. Here are the blue striped pair. And here are the gingham pair. Just a quick, cute little fix that you can do to your pants. I love the gingham pair so much. Okay, so now I'm going to do the scrunchies, just because they're also pretty quick to do. Essentially, on this one you can probably faintly see it. I traced the pattern on here, and I'm just going to sew around the curves, then flip it to the right side. Then for this one, I cut it out. I'm going to flip it right sides together and then sandwich the trim on the inside.
That's a big up Fred Irie.
All I have to do now that they're stuffed, is hand sew it closed, which I'm probably going to do later tonight, not right now, while I'm going to bed. So, but for all intents and purpose, they are done. Here's the denim one with the trim and the red, and the black and white gingham one. Get ready to be sick of me and these scrunchies, girl. Literally, this is my new favorite thing to make. How fucking adorable is this? So it is currently about 10 o'clock. I ended up going over to my fiance's house, and I had dinner with his family, and I spent the rest of the evening over there. So I have my bonnet on. I'm not quite ready to go to bed yet. I'm still going to do a little bit of sewing. So we'll pick this back up another day, probably not tomorrow, because I'm working essentially like a double. I'm working both of my jobs in the same day, so I'm going to be subbing all day, and then in the evening I'm going to teach a sewing class for my other sewing job. So yeah. So I think for today we're going to close out. Let me show you what I worked on before I went over to my fiance's house. So I went ahead and I started on my two sailor hats that I want to make. This is the bleached washed one. I went ahead and did the top stitching. Super nice. This is obviously the brim. Same, I started the brim of this brown one that I'm making. Just not sure if I want to commit to doing white stitching with the brown. unsure if I want to do white stitching, like white contrast stitching. I might do brown. That's where I'm at right now. Honestly, me deciding whether or not I'm gonna do the contrast stitching on the brown is gonna determine my progress for the evening. Because if I make the decision to not do the contrast stitching on the brown, then I'm just gonna probably keep working on the denim one. And then if I do, then I'll work simultaneously on the denim one and the brown one, if that makes sense. When I check back in, I will let you know. So for now, good night, and I will see you guys next time I pick up the camera. It is currently July 2nd. The last time I checked in with you guys was in the middle of May. So safe to say it's been some time. But I thought to round out this video, I would show you guys the finished products that you saw me sewing at the beginning, and then doing a crafty kind of haul of some things that I picked up from a place in Stone Mountain called Scraplanta, which is a creative reuse center, which is essentially just a thrift store for crafty goods and such. So essentially we're doing a what I've sewn recently and a Scraplanta craft sewing haul. I'm going to start with the things that I've sewn recently because I feel like that's what everyone would like to see first. I'm going to start off with all of the sailor hats that I made. So this first one is the bleach denim one that I started that you all saw. This one was one of the first ones that I finished making, and I've worn it quite a few times since making it. If I have any pictures or videos of me styling it, I'll insert them here. This has been one of my favorites. It's denim, so that means it goes with everything, and the bleach makes it like a super cool mixed print, if you will. Then this is the brown one that I was also working on in the video. I added this really cool kind of vintage patch to it. This one, I'm not even going to hold you. I finished this morning, but I had to finish it so I could show you guys the finished product in this little end of my sewing vlog. So here is this on, and then the cute little patch on the side. Then the last one I actually made some time ago. This was the first sailor hat that I made from the pattern that I bought from off Etsy. And so this one I've made like I said, some time ago, but recently, just this morning again, I added these really cute little heart buttons on it. So just another cute little sailor hat to add to my sailor hat rotation because, like I said, I am obsessed with sailor hats. Also, if you're interested, I can link the pattern that I bought off of Etsy to make these sailor hats down below if you are also a fellow sewist. So here are both of the scrunchies that I made. This one is my favorite. I do think it's a little bit big, even for my standard. I love extra, but maybe this is a little too extra. But I have worn this, I have worn both of them actually, so absolutely loved how these turned out. These scrunchies are obviously inspired by the Sandy Liang flower scrunchie. I just made my own pattern and have been using it to make all of these, so stay tuned for more of these. I do have a plan to start selling these on my Etsy soon, so stay tuned if you guys are looking for some flower scrunchies. Now on to some things that I've just sewn in the past time that I haven't really even mentioned here or anywhere. So this little bandana scarf thing is kind of like a sample slash prototype that I was thinking of making for my brand. I don't love it, so I definitely have to go back to the drawing board, but it is made, and I do think it is still pretty cute. The idea is that it's like a bandana, but you have these really elaborate tie strings, which I think are cute. I just think I need to make the square or the triangle part a little bit longer. So the idea, again, for you to wear it like this, or for you to be able to wear it like this. So I think I need to go back to the drawing board. Let me know what you guys think of this. I think it's alright. And then I made these. I made these cute little 3D box zipper pouches. My boss at my job, she has a class where she teaches adults how to make these, and she gave me the pattern and showed me the video on how to make it, which I can also link in the description box for you. But essentially you start out with 2 squares of fabric, 2 for the outside, 2 pieces for the lining, and she's got, the lady who does the video has like dimensions for how big you want the pouches and all of the other measurements that you need, and then all you need is a zipper and you just sew it together. Like I said, I will leave the video on how to put it together down in the description box. I made a bigger one that's kind of like my everyday essentials bag that I put into my bag, so it's got like chargers, like a Tide to Go stick, chapstick, hand sanitizer, stuff like that. And it's this really cool Barbie fabric. So on the outside it's black and pink. Then on the inside the Barbie fabric is more so pink, which I thought was super cool. Then I made this smaller one that's just for my makeup when I'm on the go. So whatever makeup products that I've used, I put in here. So like for today's makeup look, I have my little highlighter stick, my mascara, and then of course like chapstick, the lipstick that I'm wearing, the lip liner, and then I have this really cute little compact mirror that I got off of Temu, which I think is super cute. A few small little projects that I've been working on recently. Being that we are now in July, that also means that we are 4 months away from my wedding and I still haven't made my reception dress. So now I am going to be allocating all extra time sewing to making those things, because before I make my reception dress, I also have to make my bridal luncheon outfit, which is like a girl's luncheon the day of the rehearsal dinner. That's earlier in the day before I change into the dress that I'm going to wear for the rehearsal dinner. So I've got some very important sewing that I need to be doing. So I do plan on documenting that more over on my TikTok, because I made a big spiel of it being like a series over on my TikTok and my Instagram reels on my brand page at latois.studios. So fingers crossed for me that I'm not up all night from now until the wedding finishing sewing all of those things. I have just finished draping, made the pattern, and I cut out the fabric for my bridal luncheon look. Now I just need to drape and make the pattern for my reception dress. Sewing aside, I also went to this place called Scraplanta and I picked up a few fun goodies and things, and I wanted to do a haul of that. I'll start out with the more boring things first. So I got some iron-on transfer paper because I have this really cute plain tank top that was actually in my spring thrift haul that I want to iron some cute little graphics on. So I needed some transfer paper and I didn't want to buy it full price, so I did end up finding some at this Scraplanta, which is, like I said, a thrift store for crafting materials. Then I picked up some other sewing trinkets, sewing notions. So I have some cool patches that I want to show you first. So I got some of these ones that are like, I think almost all of these are probably like Girl Scout patches. That for sure is a Girl Scout patch because it says Girl Scouts. But I found these super cool vintagey kind of like military looking patches that I don't know what I'm going to do with yet, but I'm going to do something with them because I think they're super cool. So then I also got this W one, which is super cool because it reminds me of like the Yankees patch that people were putting on a whole bunch of different clothes, like on hats and blazers and jeans and stuff. So I thought this would be really cool to put on something. I don't know what yet. And this patch here is actually one of the patches that I got when I went to Scraplanta. It kind of is like the sister to this W one. I picked up a few of these like little belt loop thingies. I don't really know what they are. I mean, I know what they are. They go on belts. I don't know what I'm going to do with them yet. I just know that I like them. I had a feeling that I would turn it into like this really cute pendant kind of necklace with like ribbon around it or chain. I thought that would be cool. I thought it would also be cool to like make it into a belt. So sew a little strip of fabric that'll fit in there and like put it on a top. That would be cute on a top actually. Like on a wraparound top with a little belt loop in the middle. So I picked up those. Then the brunt of what I got from Scraplanta, they have amazing patterns, most of which are vintage, and they run for like $1 to 50 cents. So I picked up quite a few, and I hope you can see past the reflection on some of these. I'll just go ahead and take it out. So this first one is a pair of overalls, which I've been looking for an overall pattern, so I thought this was perfection, and they look to be oversized and a wide leg. And this pattern is super cool because this is actually a picture, so like, I don't know how this person got this pattern made, and it's uncut, which is the best. We love an uncut pattern. That means I get to cut out my own size and don't have to worry about not having all the pieces. Then, if you know me, I am a sucker for the 80s. That includes 80s sewing patterns. So I got this really cute little pilgrim top. I love an oversized collar. This shirt in particular, I'm really excited to try and make. So it has all of these shirts in this one pattern. And again, it's uncut. So this pattern I also think is 80s. And I love this brand, even though they've gone out of business. Quick Sew. So any Quick Sew pattern that I find, I try and get, as long as, of course, I like the item. It's this really cute dagger collar, kind of like polo shirt. So it comes in the short sleeve and then the long sleeve with the cuffs at the bottom. Again, I can't wait to make this. And then I got two sort of similar patterns. They're both a little bit different, but for all intents and purposes, they are kind of the same. It's just a nice 80s drop waist, easy dress. One of them is gathers, I believe. The other one is pleats. This one has a v-neck if you are more so into a v-neck, and then this one has the really cool pin tucks or like little pin pleats on the center front on one of them, but I couldn't pass it up. I love 80s drop waist anything, and just an easygoing dress that I could make and wear essentially all season is perfect. This pattern I'm super excited for as well. I think this one is also 80s. Looks to be 80s or 90s, and it's these really fucking adorable kind of drop waist culottes or a skirt. So you can do, like I said, you can do it into pants, which I fucking love, or a skirt. So this is literally perfect. It's got an elastic waistband, super quick and easy to sew. I will be making so many of these. I absolutely love this pattern. The last pattern that I got is this. I'm into a drop waist, if you can't tell. It's this kind of like yoke drop waist kind of skirt. So it's got the main part of the skirt is longer, which makes it look like you have a drop waist. And then the skirt is just either gathered, or you can do pleats. You can do like a little ribbon at the top. It's very Y2K. Also kind of 70s at the same time. So again, this is uncut, unused. So I get free reign. I'm very excited with all the patterns that I picked up. If this isn't a precursor, I've been collecting a shit ton of patterns that I want to make, but I haven't really had time to make any this year, mostly because I'm trying my best to focus all of my sewing efforts on all of my bridal outfits. So I plan on next year doing a serious deep dive into like a sewing series, sewing diary, where I go through every episode. I go through all of the patterns that I've collected thus far and make them either once or twice, or just go through all of the patterns that I have and actually fucking make them, because I have so many. I have a good amount of physical patterns, but I also literally have collected a plethora, like a library of patterns off of Etsy that are downloaded on my computer, that some of them I literally haven't fucking made. So stay tuned for that coming in 2025. And I'm so sorry about the longevity of this video. I know it's not long for you guys, but it's been long for me, because like I said, the beginning of this video was filmed back in the middle of May. So I'm getting better. I'm trying to get better at organizing my videos, organizing the content, and when I shoot and what I shoot. So again, I hope you guys enjoyed this sewing vlog. Let me know if I should do a completely different spin-off of sewing vlogs, or if I should include sewing vlogs as like a part of my day off diaries. Really not sure what I want to do with that. And with all that being said, I'm not going to blabber too much, because you know me and my outros. I'm going to go ahead and head out, because I am going to go to Starbucks today to get some work done, because I have a shit ton of stuff to do, wedding related and non. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed today's video, and I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye!